Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly for pricing. tmosso@thewatchbox.com is my email. Today, we're discussing a watch made in 99 pieces in platinum. From 2002 to 2005, it was one of the 5 Ruthenium collection limited editions from FP Journe. This is the Octa Jour Nuit. It is the day and the night. We have a gold dial coated in ruthenium and a brass movement coated in the same. The watch is 40 millimeters in diameter in platinum, 10 millimeters thick, 48 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, and it has a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw the watch on my wrist of 16 centimeters circumference, get a sense of how it fits. You can see that it's very flat and with a domed bezel sliding easily underneath the cuff. The consummate dress watch, gracefully styled. We have tightly downturned lugs. And you can see it wears well. I could recommend it for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. Taking a quick look at the strap, it is an FP Journe factory strap. And you'll appreciate that it's alligator leather on both sides, so large rectangular scale on the top. On the bottom, we have round scale. The purpose of gator on both sides is to make a more durable, longer-lasting strap. That's exactly what this is. It costs more, but this watch is worth it. We have a folded edge, a monotone stitch. And as you can see, it is a brand new FP Journe factory strap. It has curved spring bars, which means the lugs can be drilled very close to the case for a better fit on a small wrist. And yet there's no impediment to the motion of the strap because of the use of the curved spring bar. It doesn't get stuck against the flank of the case. It also creates a more integrated look with less daylight between strap and case. And there are little pull tabs on the bottom. Journe was one of the first to use this, so you can use your fingernail to remove the strap from the case. Unusual feature on an FP Journe watch, a full folding clasp. And it's a little bit quirky in how it's constructed. You can see that the swing arm itself on both sides made of white gold, and yet if you look carefully, the buckle is made of platinum. So when it's on your wrist, observers will see only platinum. White gold is used for the swing arm because from a mechanical standpoint, it is the hardest and most durable of golds and far more durable than platinum. That's why Journe uses white gold for the swing arm, the mechanical component with hinges and a thin profile that would be potentially delicate. We have the double dimple knurled Journe crown, a characteristic design. This case design has been consistent through the years from the very first of the 1999 subscription tourbillon. We have a domed bezel, a domed case back, overlapping lip of case back and bezel define the mid case. Everything's of high polish. And then we have integrated lugs that turn down almost 90 degrees from the direction of the case band. Rolling over to the dial side, the Ruthenium watches feature Ruthenium coated dials. You can see a media blasted matte finish, but underneath the Ruthenium, the dial is made of gold. We have a black polished steel bezel fixed by black polished screws that frames the time, hours, minutes, and seconds. We have that same biomorphic hand design for the power reserve indicator. And you can see the watch has an indicated reserve of 120 hours, though in truth, they will run for close to 160 before they drop dead. Journe put the chronometric or accurate time-telling power reserve on the dial, so that's 120, but to drop dead, about 160. Journe Nuit, we have the image of the North Pole, so the northern hemisphere, and that little projection points to the day and the night. And that is what we have here. It is not a moon phase. It's just a notice that your day and your night are passing in 24-hour sweeps. We have a double-digit date. Note the use of the same color for the date wheels as the dial, and it has a quick set. Okay, flip the watch over. We have the Octa Caliber 1300, and it too is ruthenium coated, though in this instance, the material under the ruthenium is brass. This is a brass movement FP Journe. We know that after the ruthenium series, with the exception of a few very limited special editions, that was the end of brass movement Journes. So people collect these on the basis of the movement material alone, although not as valuable as gold. From a commodity standpoint, you don't buy a Journe watch to melt it down. You buy rarity, and rarity is what you have with all versions of the brass movement FP Journes. We have a 22-karat rotor that has been cut on a rose lathe with a wonderful grand orge or barley corn pattern, and you can see it has been finished several different ways: black polishing, guilloche, and then on the edge, anglage. Take a look, 99 pieces. This one is individually numbered. 02 is the year the case was made. Labeling cases with their year of production is a practice that ended roughly mid-2005 at Journe, so it's another sign of the times of when the watch was made and where the company was back then. And you can appreciate that it has hallmarks of both Switzerland and France. And what appears at first glance to be a hallmark is actually the maker's mark of Eleanor, which made all of Journe cases from his pocket watch days in the 80s through about mid-2008 when he bought Eleanor from France, moved it to Geneva. Now he operates his own case factory, and a lot of the same people still work there from France. So that's why you have double hallmarks on these older Journe cases. The movement, mechanically speaking, was a bit of a breakthrough, one of the few really long power reserve movements back in the early 2000s. The first Octa came out in 2001. It was Journe's first automatic. It has a rotor that's slightly smaller than the movement itself, and that's all pursuant to the movement being designed for dial side mounting of complications, and one of the consequences of that was that the rotor was somewhat off-center. We have a large balance, and it beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It is adjusted in 5 positions like a chronometer, and it's free sprung for precise adjustment and durability Swiss lever escapement. We have circular Côte de Genève on the bridges, engine turned perlage on the base plate. All screw heads are black polished, and we have a workman-like anglage. You can really see well from this angle that back then Journe was a little bit more open about using a machining tool straight to the edge of the bridge, so you can actually see the individual bite marks where the machining tool created the bevel. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this rare and desirable Journe limited edition. And just in case I have to be absolutely dead readily apparent and obvious, 30 meters water resistant, so please don't take it swimming. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.